Mr. John Zimmer and Mr. Logan Green, the two founders, CEO and president, which we interviewed a few months ago on our channel. They both, I'm not going to say resigned. They replaced themselves.
Stepped down.
Yeah, stepped down from day-to-day operations. They're still going to stay on the board. They replaced themselves with David RideShare. Now, I made a joke about it, saying that his last name is perfect for RideShare, right? RideShare. You know, it's like kind of pretty cool.
RideShare.
RideShare.
We're going to give you the RideShare today. Kind of like the ringer.
I'm going to give you a little bit of the RideShare. So welcome to the Show Me the Money Club, Mr. RideShare. Now, obviously, if you would like to join us at some point, much appreciated. We will have a little chat, you know, but besides the point, both founders are out. They turned over the wheel in a figurative and literal sense to Mr. RideShare, who used to be ex-Microsoft and ex-Amazon executive. But he has been on the Lyft board for the last 3 years. So he's no stranger to Lyft, but I'm not sure what his experience is when it comes to TNC's RideShare. And, you know, he was with Jeff Bezos and Amazon, you know, built a company. And also he was at Microsoft previous to that. I'm, you know, curious about this choice, Chris. I really am. Now, a couple of good friends of mine did immediate couple of articles. The scoop was, by the way, by Pritika Rana of Wall Street Journal. Congrats, Pritika. She gets her stuff straight. And, you know, she did ask this guy a couple of questions. And, you know, last day, basically, after I sent you what I sent you, I sat there and read pretty much every article that he put a quote in as a new CEO of the company starting April 17th. And, you know, a couple of the things he said caught my eye, right? First of all, he said, we're in a strong second place. Mr. RideShare, I mean, breaking news, there's only 2 companies in the US when it comes to RideShare. So being in a strong second place shouldn't be something to boast about, but we'll give you the break on that one. And then, you know, he said, we're just going to focus on the customer, just like I used to do at Amazon with Jeff Bezos. Well, I go, what have you been focusing on then for the last 10 years if you weren't focusing on the customer anyway? You know, started with the pink mustache, and now you guys are here. So, you know, look, ultimately, I personally, okay, I'm going to give at the end, maybe Chris, you know, once you put your thoughts in, I'll give you my personal opinion, how this is all going to end, and which we had done a couple of very, you know, different segments about Lyft and where we think Lyft is going to be by the end of 2023 or early 2024 anyway. It wasn't too rosy, and I'm sticking with that. But what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good change? Do you think this is something that they had to do because the bleeding has to stop at some point, right? I'm not sure. What do you think about it?
Well, I put this tree on there because
we
talk about the Uber and Lyft tree, trees, I should say. Uber is the big tree that is, you know, taking on many different aspects, not just rideshare, but food delivery, grocery shopping, you know, package delivery, pickup, drop off, a lot of different things they're looking at. They expanded globally. Lyft decided to be a one-trick pony and really follow in the footsteps of Uber. So the comparison was always that Uber was the big tree and Lyft is a little tree that never could stand on its own because it was not able to. It wasn't getting enough sunshine or anything. So to me, when I first saw that, I'm thinking, oh, the ship is going down and this is just a precursor to it. Okay. So that's why I put the dead tree right there.
Okay.
But when it comes down to it, the tree could potentially come back. It could get replanted. This is something that Lyft needs to do. And hopefully RideShare will have some sort of plan in place with the board that they will potentially transition from being an Uber shadow to being something that can stand on their own. So instead of saying Uber and Lyft, or when you think of Lyft, Uber automatically comes to mind, you have to differentiate yourself between the two. And I think this would be a prime opportunity for them because there's a pathway coming and there's a fork on the road. One path is going to lead to Lyft's destruction, And the other path could lead to their profitability, to, the golden goose egg, to whatever you want to call it, as long as they're able to do that. So this, I think, is a very pivotal moment for Lyft.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I do not want to see Lyft go away. I don't, because you need at least two in order to make it fair across the board, because we have Uber, we have Lyft. If Lyft goes away, we only have Uber. And then you have small little factions of rideshare companies in cities or, in different places, but there's not a big national competitor to Uber. So we need to have Lyft stay. And then it just gives us another option to be able to drive on the platform. So I hope that this tree that I put on the screenshots for those who are watching, I hope that tree starts springing to life very soon. I hope that we see some big changes coming, and I hope that it's going to be good for drivers, good for passengers, and good for the companies, because there is a possibility to do that. It's just a matter of, are they going to do that? So,
well,
time will tell.
This tree that you put up looks like it just got hit by lightning, and it's losing limbs and arms and everything else. Pretty much, it looks like charred. Now, we've had
that could be the Uber tree then.
No, maybe there's a good point to this, because we had wildfires in my neighborhood like 4 years ago, and everything was charred, and now everything is green with the rains that we had and all that stuff. So look, nature will heal itself, but nature is not business, right? This company has not been run properly, in my opinion, unlike Uber, and look, I read literally every single quote that he put out there as an incoming guy. The first one, that's him saying that we're very strong second place, is meaningless to me, because there's only two companies. So you're admitting that you're last place, you're never going to get back. So what's the Lyft problem? Lyft problem has been that, and this is the quote, the macroeconomy is tough enough. The world is full of some uncertainty, and that's a real factor for sure. And then when you zoom in one click, the competitive environment is tough. We have a very aggressive competitor, Mr. Richards said in an interview. This is from Wall Street Journal's interview. And he's talking about, obviously, Uber. And then he says, I think being a strong number two is a good place to be. He added, I like where we are, but we've got real work to do, fight it out a little bit. This is like a sentence that as an incoming CEO, I wouldn't have put out, because this is pretty much, it says, we have some real work to do. We're going to fight it out, but a little bit. Well, if you're going to fight it out, you're just going to fight it out. There's no little bit. This is like, you're not a little bit of pregnant. You're either going to fight it out or you're not going to fight it out. I mean, look, Lyft decided to fight it out, Chris, last 2 quarters, and we know what happened, right? They lost that fight. So I read other quotes that he has come up with. He said, I don't want the passenger to get in a Lyft car and smell like pizza. Meaning he's hitting upon that they're not going to get into deliveries in a serious way. They're just going to stick to that one gun, which is rideshare, and continue doing it. Now, he says, we're going to put up a fight. I'm like, okay, well, you guys put up a fight, last 2 quarters, and Uber has so many levers to pull on them that they ate them for lunch and dinner and breakfast. So I am hoping, that he has some better plan than just the usual race to zero where only the winner is the passenger, lowering fares. Because lowering fares is going to cost the drivers. I mean, look, there is no ifs and buts about it. Now, my final opinion on this is a change had to be made. Fine. I'm not sure this guy is the change. I personally think my final 2 cents on this is that he was brought in because, look, a lot of founders, I've seen this on Wall Street for 40 years. For a lot of founders, it's very difficult to exit a company that they gave birth to, because these 2 guys started in a tiny little 100 square foot office in San Francisco in 2008. Okay. And it's very difficult for founders to basically get rid of their baby. Okay. And, give it up for adoption kind of a thing. So the fact that they're doing this, I think this guy was brought in to clean house, to make the numbers look good and exit. And for founders, it's a difficult thing to do. And I think, this guy is going to do his best. What does it mean for drivers? Again, my opinion only. I think it cannot be good news for drivers, because, look, they have all the drivers that they need as far as supply because of the macroeconomic conditions. Everybody's driving. If this guy is going to really get rid of the gloves and get into a bare knuckle fight with Uber, he's going to lose. And when he loses, the passengers will win because look, they're going to have to lower fares and fares are going to go lower on the passengers. Are the companies going to benefit? Probably not, because look, they've been in a race to zero for the last 10, 12 years anyway, right? We know this, the trend, the fare cuts and all that stuff. So to me, this guy's brought in to clean house a little bit, maybe another round of layoffs, shrink the company, bring it to a point that it's sellable actually, because at the moment, this company is not sellable. It's not, okay?
Yeah.
Bleeding cash after
they would lose. They would lose on a deal big time. And I think that they're, you look at their stock price, how far it's down right now from the IPO.
Look, the stock went up actually. Remember I sent this to you? I said stock is up.
Like but I'm talking about from the IPO. It's never reached the IPO.
It's 72 to 9 now. And in fact, it broke 9 today because what happened is that in the aftermarket yesterday, stock went up 5%, which was expected reaction. Today, stock went down 6% more, down to 8 and change now. And look, it's the Wall Street is not buying, and we'll see. Look, I am hopeful.
Here's the thing. When it comes to a CEO, you got to be cutthroat. And let's be real, Dara is cutthroat.
Yeah,
he comes off as maybe not, but in the thick of it, he's pretty cutthroat when it comes down to it. I mean, look at the decisions they've made over the years. Yeah. When you have a incoming CEO who is saying, "I think being a strong number 2 is a good place to be," that's saying we're going to take it lackadaisy. That's not saying if you're first, you're last. Or if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mentality that you have to have in order for you want to have a company that's going to thrive. Yeah. That type of thing, I have to agree. It looks like it might be something that they're probably getting ready to, try to piece out or, do something with that may not be the best. So that's my personal front opinion. Time will tell once he actually comes in, once he actually gets going, and see what may change from that. We'll keep you updated on things like this, but you want to have somebody that's going to come in really, really pound it out. Now, one thing we'll see, but
look,
that's all I'm going to say there.
I think it's a good thing that happened. It needed fresh blood. I don't know what this guy's first moves are going to be. Again, if he does,
I would not buy this stock. I would short it.
I would not buy the stock either. We've been saying that for months now, for 5 months. But I think if this is the exit strategy, this is the exit strategy for Lyft to be part of another company or a bigger company. A lot of people made the connection. The guys from Amazon, maybe they're going to do it with Amazon. I'm like, I don't know why Amazon. Amazon to this Lyft to Amazon is like a toothpick. It's like it's not even going to move the needle for Amazon. For what? For a money losing company? Maybe my thought process has changed actually on the exit strategy. I think he's going to clean it up and chuck it to some private equity. And there are a couple of European companies that are coming around that we're going to talk in the next couple of weeks, newcomers into the game. And I think a conglomerate like that can compete better than Lyft on its own because, look, man, whatever you do, rideshare has been a horrible business. It's not a bad business model. It's just a bad business to be in. There's not money to be made. It's proven itself that rideshare is not, and Uber correctly put a lot of pens on different fires and they pull the levers and they compete hard. And the guy is right. One thing about that he said is right is that they compete hard. You're not going to mess with Uber.
Oh, yeah.
Uber can pull anything they want on you, man, because they have so many levers to pull. So,
the only way they're going to be able to do it is, trying to think outside the box and come up with a different strategy and differentiate between themselves and Uber because it literally is hand in hand, and that's why the tree metaphor is perfect for the just the way Uber and Lyft operate with each other.
So good luck to Mr. Risher. I don't know. Are we getting interviewed with this guy or what's happening? No?
I don't know. It'd be cool too. So we'll see and stay tuned if we can. But I don't know. Either way, we'll keep you updated on any new updates or changes. Obviously, if there's anything that's going to affect drivers, even passengers, we will definitely let you know. Keep you posted there. So if you are coming in and not subscribed, just make sure you are so you don't miss what's going to happen with Lyft. But real quick, two sentence thing. Where do you see Lyft? Do you see Lyft being able to grow, or is this a shop out?
No, I think it's just a shop. This is just clean house, shop the company. Look, man, they're losing market share after 10, 12 years. Look, if he's going to go after.
All right.
You know,
Let's move on. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got a packed show, so
All right.
beyond speculation, we don't really have much until he gets in. So
no, but you know,
with that being said,
look, man, we said our piece 2 months ago, 4 months ago. You know, I'm sticking to it. I'm not changing my mind. There you go.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this is just part of the process that's gonna hit that place. Yeah. So, all right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.